Hello and welcome. This is Borno Restoration. I am Jesse Tafida. On today's episode of the program, we will track down efforts of the Borno State House of Assembly towards enacting laws that will better the lives of Borno citizens, especially survivors of the 13-year conflict. Before we track all this, let's bring you up to speed with Borno Today. These suspects, numbering 110, were arrested by men of the Nigerian police force for allegedly committing various crimes. The crime ranges from theft, culpable homicide, rape, armed robbery, unlawful possession of firearms, and kidnapping. State Commissioner of Police Abdul Umar briefs the press on this development.
The command had successfully delved into 70 cases, recorded cases, and among which we have made arrests of 110 suspects. These suspects are mostly involved in cases of kidnapping, where 6 suspects were arrested, 6 cases of rape with about 23 suspects, cases of criminal conspiracy and culpable homicide. Though we have some cases that we've succeeded in recovering the exhibits, but suspect at large. This, if you go around, you see consignment of India hemp, where we trail the suspects, but they escape. But we are still on it. By the grace of God, we are going to get them because the exhibit is already at hand.
Among the suspects is this gang of youths who call themselves the Malians, specialize in selling hard drugs to students in tertiary institutions. The CP say this has to be dealt with.
Most cases of drug abuse, addiction, and peddling, in most cases we refer them to NDLA for diligent prosecution. This is to ensure, to give confidence to the people of Borno State that the command is still on its course of ensuring safety of lives and property.
The suspects will be charged after preliminary investigations are completed. The police further calls on residents of Maiduguri to report any suspicious movement around them, as security is a duty for all. The Borno State Police Command says it will continue its effort of curbing crime in the state. It also promises to bring these suspects to book to serve as deterrent to others. Addressing journalists at the command headquarters, State Commandant Musa Farouk assured people of the state that his men will not rest on their oars until crime is brought to the barest minimum.
I want to assure the people of the Maduganari bypass and indeed Borno State, Maiduguri in particular, that we will continue to do our best. We will not relax our oars. I want to appeal to them, especially the citizens of goodwill, to always provide prompt information for us to act. Without information, the security is not able. Consequently, security is a collective responsibility for all of us. Hence, every person must partake.
The 22 suspects paraded before newsmen include teenagers who were caught vandalizing conduit wires and other materials in buildings, as well as those involved in cybercrime.
We have a typical man, a fraudulent person, an expert in cyber crimes. All the suspects, numbering 22, are in our kitty. I want to appeal to government in the very first instance because government has power of eminent domain to do so many things for the citizenry. Government should empower the youth by providing employment, stipends by which they can live up to some skills and develop themselves and have livelihoods.
Items recovered from the suspect include mobile phones, windows, computers, television sets, and burglar proofs. The NSCDC warned those involved in such activities to refrain or face full wrath of the law. The suspect arrested will be charged to court after preliminary investigations are completed. In this hall are journalists and social media influencers. They are here to gain more knowledge on how best to give adequate report on public health emergencies. The workshop is also geared towards increasing the preponderance of life-saving information on mass media and social platforms to enable at-risk populations make informed decisions to protect themselves from infectious diseases.
Your presence here is to help the population, is to help the Ministry of Health, is to help the government to be able to bring these cases down. For us in the health sector, our concern are cases that die as a result of an outbreak. Impact of such gathering can be measured by the data we receive.
Resource persons say the workshop is crucial for journalists and social media influencers to be equipped with the necessary skills to report health behavior outcomes.
What we see as reality construction is constructed by reporters through the various interviews they carry out. Most of these narratives are put together by reporters themselves through their stories. And many of the stories are based on interactions with people. Because news is not rich without the people's voice, the collective voice of the people. And that is where interview comes in.
This is one of the most important workshops I've ever attended in the area of healthcare coverage. I am like a capacity builder for young journalists, so I always take home knowledge and to step it down for my colleagues who are like mentees to me.
50 participants drawn from various media organizations and social media platforms participated at the 3-day workshop. Participants at this workshop believe that the training would go a long way in contributing significantly to the fight against infectious diseases in the state and country at large. The mud brick shelter intervention by the International Organization for Migration is in response to the recent closure of camps and camp-like settlements in conflict-affected states. I took a visit to Goza and Yola town to have a glimpse of the intervention made by IOM. On arrival, I met returnees of the 13-year conflict resettling in their new places of abode. Basic amenities were also provided. The returnees say this is a dream come true. When Boko Haram invaded our village in Goza 9 years ago, we relocated in search for safety. We then came to Malkoi and have been living in camp. But today, our cry is over with this shelter provided to us by IOM. Fadi Abba prepares the first meal for her family in their new abode. We've been living in a makeshift shelters with no privacy and no happiness. Today, I have a personal home. We never imagined having this, but it was made possible by IOM. Government on its part believes that this move by IOM is a milestone to its people.
The houses built will compress earthquakes made locally with no doubt go a long way in addressing the harsh weather condition of the state during the hot season.
The project sought to prioritize the most vulnerable individuals, and among them are female-headed households, persons with disabilities or chronic illness, pregnant and lactating mothers, and elderly individuals. They are coming from different places in Goza, Bama, Dikwa, Monguno local government areas in Borno state. They had fled to safety in Adamawa state and they settled here.
With this step in by IOM, the returnees now have a sigh of relief as they can now turn a new leaf and start afresh. The Borno state government has been in the spotlight when it comes to activities of its legislature. The State House of Assembly has been central to the administration of Governor Babagana Zulu. On the 13th of June 2023, the Borno State House of Assembly unanimously elected the immediate past Speaker of the 9th Assembly, Abdul Karim Lawan, as Speaker of the 10th Assembly, making him one of the longest serving speaker in the country. Take a listen. The Borno State House of Assembly is having 28 legislatures elected from the 27 local council areas of the state. The House has continued to enact new laws, amend existing ones, and oversight of the executive. Although the state has 27 local council areas, Bama has 2 assembly members representing Gulumba Oloji and Bama. In the just concluded 2023 elections, all the seats are won by APC members. Today, the House is set to elect Speaker and Deputy Speaker that will oversee affairs of the House. During the session, members of the House unanimously elected Abdul Karim Lawan as Speaker of the 10th Assembly.
Having been duly nominated and seconded, and which he responded, is hereby declared as the Speaker of 10th Borno State House.
To announce the other...
He is now Speaker for the 4th time. This made him to be the longest serving Speaker in the country. Members of the House gave reasons for re-electing him.
He's humble, dedicated, he's kind, he's calm, he's capable to lead people, not only state assembly, even in national assembly he can lead. 1, 2, he's my mentor, he's my son, he's my father. No time, and you can call speaker at 2 o'clock in the night, he will answer your call. Nobody, no speaker in Nigeria that can make him one call, he can take the call. I know. I've said with how many speakers? Almost 3 to 4 speakers before him. I know how speakers are bragging. I know how speakers are putting starch. And now, for my present speaker, anywhere he's going along with me. Not because I'm capable, not because I'm better than anybody. He's a loyal person. We are loyal to him. 27 local government members of the State Assembly are loyal to Speaker since he has been elected as a Speaker in 2012 to date. Why? Because he is capable. Why? Because he is dedicated, humble, kind. Name them. Nobody will tell you, Mr. Speaker hate me, Mr. Speaker hold me. Therefore, if he can stay in this seat for the next 30, 40 years, to me, it's like I get the position, not him. This position of the speakership is his own, bearing the name Mr. Speaker Abdul Karim Lawan, but to me, it's like I am the speaker, because anything that I take it to the speaker, he will say yes. He knows I cannot take bad thing for him. He knows I cannot take anything against him, the State Assembly. any policy, any decision that I said, this is my constituency problem, Mr. Speaker will say, go and put it in a motion and submit it to the House of Assembly and move it as a motion.
Abdul Karim Lawan, who hails from Guzamana Local Council, expressed happiness with the outcome of the election. He promised to bring dividends of democracy to the good people of the state.
Alhamdulillah, first of all, let me thank to Almighty Allah for giving me this opportunity to become a fourth term Speaker of the Borno State House of Assembly. I was elected as a Speaker in the 7th Assembly, 8th Assembly, 9th Assembly, and today 10th Assembly. So I want to thank Almighty Allah and my colleagues, the honorable members from various 27 local government areas of Borno State, as well as our leaders, the executive, that is the executive governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Azulum, and our party leaders under the leadership of Honorable Ali Bukar Dalori for giving me 100% support to become the Speaker since 7th Assembly, 8th Assembly, and 9th Assembly. Both the party, the executive, and my colleagues, the honorable members. I want to thank them so much for giving me this opportunity. So I'm very much happy. Inshallah, by the grace of Almighty Allah, I will not going to betray them. I will, inshallah, work hand in hand with my colleagues, with the executive, as well as my party leaders to ensure the peace and stability of Borno State under the successes of the Borno State House of Assembly and the successes of Professor Babagana Warazil, inshallah.
The 10th Speaker of the Borno State House of Assembly say he will operate an open-door policy to move the Assembly to greater heights.
We have set up so many agendas for this 8th Assembly because all the 28 honorable members and myself, we have sat down and begin to draw the agenda for 10th Assembly. The first one is the bill to protect afforestation in Borno State. You know, because of these insurgencies, most of our people move into firewood sellers. So now when you go to the bush, you can see so many people harvesting trees and others. So this one, based on our observation, it will bring more problem, it will more afforestation to our dear state. So we want to make bill on that issues, so to regulate how these firewood sellers should go out and harvest the tree in the bush. So I think it's very important. And also we're going to introduce the tree planting campaign system in the state, which is normally before last 10, 15 years, every year, every local government will perform these functions of planting trees. So we want to make a law to make it compulsory to every local government and the state level to plant a tree to protect our territorial area of Borno State. That is one. Number two is we want to bring back the culture of every tribe, every language in Borno State. We want to introduce the local language in our primary and secondary school. That is, for example, on Borno Central, we're going to introduce Kanuri language and Shua language. In Borno South, we're going to introduce Babur language, Margi, Chibok language in the primary and secondary school, so that our young children would also learn more in their local language. I think this is a very important. And inshallah, there are so many bills, private bills, members' bills, executive bills, that we're going to assist the people of Borno State. Inshallah, we're going to do it, and inshallah, the people of Borno State will enjoy more in the Borno State House of Assembly. Yes, alhamdulillah, the first issues that we, as a House of Assembly, we assisted to ensure that these insurgencies has become an end. There is one bill we passed in the 8th Assembly. That is the vigilante bill, that is the civilian JTF. Introduction of civilian JTF in Borno State is one of the most achievable bill in the House, because introducing of civilian JTF is the major factor of pushing Boko Haram to the bush. So this bill is very much important. And also we have passed the state university bill, which is very important. And this, because we have done this to improve the standard of education in Borno State. And also we passed School of Health and also College of Education, that is to amend that bill to our teaming youths to go into the school properly to have their own studies. So there are so many bills like Security Trust Fund bill, Education Trust Fund, the local government headquarters. There is no single person in the local government headquarters up to now. No civilian, no military, no security agencies up to now. But some places in the local government, there are civilian, but no military presence there. So I'm appealing to the federal and state government to relocate people of Kuzamala local government, that is the headquarters, and Mairari to their home, so that they should start their normal life as other local government has been doing. Alhamdulillah, the relationship between the executive and legislative is very much cordial. Since inception of this administration of Professor Babagana Umar Azalem in 2019, up to today, there is no any problem, there is no any challenges, there is no rancor between the executive and legislative arm of government of Borno State, because the governor has given us more support, his 100% support, as well as the House also. We have given him all the support that he needed in his administration through the passing bills, passings of resolutions, and also cooperation among the other executive arm of government is very much cordial with the honorable members. So I think there is no any problem between the executive, legislative, and also judicial arm of government of Borno State. We have no problem. We are working hand in hand, inshallah, to ensure the successes of Borno State.
Now that the ball is set rolling, residents of Borno are optimistic that the House will enact laws that will improve critical sectors of education, security, and agriculture. And that's our package on this episode of Borno Restoration. Many thanks for watching. I'm Jesse Tafida. See you next time. Bye-bye.